Hi, today is July 9th, 2026, and this is our news brief on tech and small business. GPT 5.6 public launch ends unprecedented government review. OpenAI publicly released its GPT 5.6 Sol, Terra, and Luna models on July 9th, 2026, ending a 13-day government coordinated preview window. This marked the first time the US government has preemptively restricted an American AI company's model launch before public release. xAI also launched Grok 4.5 publicly the same day, claiming Opus class performance, making July 9th what industry trackers call the most consequential single day in AI model history. So a little context, the review stems from a June 2026 Trump AI executive order asking developers to voluntarily submit frontier models for federal evaluation, with agencies given 60 days to build an assessment process. OpenAI publicly objected at that time, saying it doesn't believe this kind of government access process should become long-term default. Every major AI lab now must plan for the possibility that Washington delays a launch before it reaches customers, a variable that didn't exist a month ago. Businesses building frontier models should build slack into rollout timelines in case a flagship release triggers federal review. So overall, I'm kind of excited with 5.6 out. Curious to see how well that runs compared to 5.5. Illinois signs nation's toughest AI safety law. Governor J.P. Pritzker signed the Artificial Intelligence Safety Measures Act, Senate Bill 315, into law in Chicago on July 6, 2026. The law requires AI developers with models generating over $500 million in annual revenue to report safety incidences within 72 hours or 24 hours for intimate physical risk, and undergo the nation's first mandatory annual third-party audits. Violations carry fines up to $1 million for the first offense and $3 million for repeat violations. The law takes effect January 1st, 2028. So we have a few months, we have some time, right? OpenAI and Anthropic both support the bill, which passed with near unanimous bipartisan support. So a little more context, Illinois becomes the third state after California and New York pass a dedicated AI safety law, joining a wave of statewide action while federal AI legislation remains stalled. The law's incident reporting and whistleblower protection provisions go further than California's New York's existing frameworks. So here's some implications. Companies operating nationally now face a patchwork of state AI compliance deadlines instead of one federal standard. Expect more states to introduce similar bills before year end, given the bipartisan margin Illinois secured. Meta enters the AI image generation race with Muse. So Meta launched Muse Image, its first in-house AI image generation model, inside the Meta AI app and Instagram on July 7th, 2026. The tool is free for general use, with Meta selling higher usage limit through its subscription plans, directly monetizing image generation for the first time. Facebook and Messenger access is planned to expand later in 2026. To a little more context, the launch puts Meta in direct competition with OpenAI, Google, and Midjourney in consumer image generation, a category Meta has previously left to partners. Meta framed the release as a bid to court advertisers who want AI-generated creative for Advantage Plus campaigns. So here's the implication. Small businesses running Meta ad campaigns will likely see AI-generated creative options appear directly inside Meta ad tools rather than through third-party apps. Expect competing platforms to accelerate their native image tools now that Meta has entered the category. So competition is good. So I haven't tested. I'm curious to see how good the image generation is. I played around with Gemini, I played around with OpenAI. OpenAI seems to be a little bit better. I haven't played around with Midjourney in a while, so it's to be seen, how Meta will do with AI generation. Wall Street, economists warn AI valuations face a painful repricing. Apollo Global Management Chief Economist Torsten Slok warned on July 6, 2026 that equity markets priced for immediate AI-driven earnings growth faced a painful repricing if productivity gains take years rather than months. Magnificent 7 profit margins rose from 15% to 25% between QA 2023 and Q1 of 2026, while the rest of the S&P 500 held flat near 10% over the same period, showing AI gains concentrated mostly entirely in big tech. Bank Jim Reed filed on July 8, 2026, arguing that delayed productivity gains could worsen corporate debt levels across the broader economy. So a little more context, both warnings echo a June 2026 Bank for International Settlements report flagging a roughly $1 trillion AI infrastructure investment boom at risk of reckoning. A widely cited MIT study found only 5% of companies saw meaningful return on generative AI pilot investments. So here's some implications. Businesses outside the tech sector should treat AI ROI claims respectively until margin data outside big tech actually moves. A market correction tied to AI valuations could tighten credit and investment availability for AI adjacent startups regardless of their individual performance. AI infrastructure funding keeps flowing despite bubble warnings. Techlee, a New York startup building an AI operating system for banks and insurers, closed a $110 million Series C on July 7, 2026, led by Goldman Sachs Growth Equity. Jump, an AI platform for financial advisors, raised $80 million in Series B funding the same day. Both rounds targeted AI systems that automated regulated back-office financial workflows, not consumer-facing chatbots, signaling where investors think durable AI value actually sits. The rounds land in the same week economists were warning about AI valuation risk, showing investors are still distinguishing between hype-driven bets and workflow-specific tools with paying enterprise customers. North American startup funding overall hit record highs in the first half of 2026, driven largely by AI. So here's an implication to that. Operators pitching AI tools to investors right now will have an easier time raising if the product replaces specific regulated or back office workflow rather than offering general purpose assistance. Expect more late-stage capital to flow towards vertical AI infrastructure in finance and insurance rather than new foundation model entrants. So, like I myself is building an internal company OS, and I definitely see the value. It's not the crazy, sexy things. It's about the boring stuff that is AI able to automate and help out behind the scenes. And the company OS systems, the old company OS layer, I think helps a lot. So this was our new update for July 9, 2026. If you like these types of updates, subscribe. And if you want an email update, then join our newsletter. Link below. Right? See ya.